I don't want to say I seen this coming, but I seen this coming, man. Like, I'm not going to front. That last preseason game, I wasn't impressed. Trey Lance gets the short end of the stick. He gets that bust label associated to his name. And I'm going to keep it a bean, 49er fans. It's not Trey Lance's fault, bro. I don't think this dude was in the best situation to win any football games. Like, the 49ers did not need a quarterback the year they moved up to get this dude. I saw a chart the other day that showed, had the 49ers just kept the 12th pick, Patrick Surtain, the second, was still available. Jamar Chase was available. Micah Parsons was available if they just stayed at 12. But to move what they moved, to invest in a quarterback that wasn't gonna, let's be real, he wasn't gonna beat out Jimmy Garoppolo. You move that far up in the draft to take a quarterback, he has to be your day one starter. But you move him up to put him as a backup to Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been in that system 3-4 years. Jimmy goes down, Trey Lance gets a chance to run with the starters. Y'all put him in a situation where he gets hurt. Let's be real. Kyle Shanahan, this ain't the first time he's put a quarterback in a situation to be hurt. I just keep things a beam, bro. I don't care about feelings. I'm gonna just call it what it is. They're gonna associate bust with Trey Lance, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. He never had an opportunity to really succeed. The man breaks his foot. And to think, the 49ers selected Mr. Irrelevant. I just want to put this in perspective for y'all. Y'all selected Mr. Irrelevant over the man that you moved up in the draft to select. So you're essentially betting money on the last guy drafted in the same draft over a guy you moved up in to get. And then you move him. Tough. What an embarrassment. That was a miss. Let's keep it a bean. That was an embarrassment by the 49ers. And as far as the Cowboys go, it feels like Dak Prescott is on the clock, right? Let's be real. Dak Prescott damn near led the league in picks, and he didn't even play the whole season. Last year was atrocious. The Cowboys absolutely stole this trade. They gave up like a mid-pick. What was it, a fourth round? A fourth rounder. Fourth rounder. Is Trey Lance 25 for a first-round quarterback? That lets Dak Prescott know your time is, they're not liking what they're seeing in practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that goes to show you there are concerns. Jerry Jones? When's the last time Jerry Jones did a trade? But we're going to get right into it. Like, Kyle Shanahan, this one's on you. Not the 49er fans. This one's on Kyle Shanahan, bro. Y'all did Trey Lance dirty.
Breaking news out of San Francisco, where the 49ers have traded Trey Lance.
Keep it a beam.
For a 2024 fourth-round pick, sending him to the Dallas Cowboys to back up Dak Prescott. Former third overall pick was relegated
Won't be
to
for long.
Quarterback in San Francisco on Wednesday. Had not made enough progress.
Not the way Dak playing.
Brock Purdy, the starter in San Francisco, coming back from the elbow injury. Sam Darnold will back him up, and Trey Lance will now back up Dak Prescott in Dallas. And for more, let's welcome in CBS Sports lead NFL insider Jonathan Jones. Jonathan, Trey Lance headed to Dallas. What more can you tell us about the deal?
Yeah, well, obviously not surprising that Trey Lance is not going to be playing in San Francisco anymore. Obviously, he took the news of his QB3 very hard the other day. And a little interesting that he wasn't going to take the field tonight against the Los Angeles Chargers. But when it is a fait accompli that he is not going to be playing in 2023 for your squad, when you put him out there on the trade market, you try to get whatever taker you can. And frankly, I'm a little surprised by the trade compensation. I'm talking with league executives throughout the NFL this past week.
That's a move you make when you don't have leverage. Either you don't have leverage to get what you really want, or you're trying to get rid of this kid before he could possibly embarrass you. Like, y'all trying to, the first thing smoking, a fourth-round pick? Like, come on, Trey Lance is worth more than a fourth-round pick. Y'all wanted to wash this off your hands before any blowback could really get back to you. That's why y'all got rid of him. Y'all never gave him a chance to really succeed, bro.
It seemed like the best the Niners were going to get, a sixth-round pick, maybe a fifth, if we got into some sort of auction. So a fourth-round pick for Trey Lance, a little bit higher than I think folks were anticipating before this. Not at all a surprise that he's no longer in San Francisco, and now it kind of clears the deck. They're able to clean and cleanse their palate in San Francisco. We know it's going to be Brock Purdy. Sam Darnold has earned QB2. Brandon Allen has earned QB3. So
y'all better hope Brock Purdy don't go down and Sam Darnold has to be your starting quarterback. All this earning shit, like, we know what we know about Sam Darnold. Y'all trust me. I know 49er fans don't want to see this man take no snaps.
You're not going to see him cut or placed on the practice squad. I would anticipate certainly based off of last season and how the NFC title game ended for the Niners, that they are going to keep all 3 of those quarterbacks on the 53-man roster when we get to roster cutdowns at 4 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. And so Trey Lance starting anew in Dallas.
So what does this mean for Dak Prescott, who unfortunately got injured in week 1 last season? Cooper Rush came in and led them to a nice record, 4-1. What does this mean for Dak Prescott now having a former 3rd overall pick behind him?
Well, Dak Prescott is unquestionably the leader of the Dallas Cowboys. He's unquestionably the starting quarterback, the leader of the offense, the leader of the team. It sort of kind of builds out from there. And so Dak Prescott does not have to worry about his job whatsoever. The only interesting part about this, and I was texting with an agent earlier tonight right after the news broke, is that Dak Prescott's up for a contract extension. Remember, in March of 2021, he signed a 4-year, $160 million contract. And so now he's played 2021, 2022. He's going into 2023. We see, of course, the injuries he has dealt with. And so if Dak does not play up to the level that we have been accustomed to seeing him play at, if he plays somewhere close to the level that he played last year, where he tied for the NFL lead in interceptions by also missing a few games, then the Cowboys may own a little leverage. And that is not at all to say, and this is very important, that is not at all to say that it's going to be Dak Prescott or Trey Lance in Dallas in 2024 or whenever it is. That's not what this is about. It's about holding a little contract leverage for the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to those gigantic numbers, right? So we just know that, and just saw that Justin Herbert is now the highest paid quarterback and player in NFL history at $52.5 million per year in average annual value. Joe Burrow is going to break that, and probably break that by $1 million or $2 million in average annual value. Patrick Mahomes could redo his deal at some point and break that. And so the top of the market is going to be somewhere in the mid-50s by the time this is all said and done. Dak Prescott, by the time he's up for a contract extension, probably after this season, is...
Imagine having to pay Dak Prescott over $50 million. No, not even over $50 million, but just more than Justin Herbert, more than Patrick Mahomes. Like, imagine having to pay Dak Prescott, who has no Super Bowl wins, no Super Bowl appearances, no NFC title appearances, has gotten punched on the road and at home versus the 49ers. Imagine having to go up to the office and say, hey, you know what? Listen, man, we got $200 million for you, $50 million. Imagine. Back in the day, you actually had to win to get paid.
He's going to be looking for top of the market value if his play has dictated it. But if his play has not, then the Dallas Cowboys are going to be able to say, look, 2 years ago we went 4-1 without you with Cooper Rush. And then this past season we went out and got Trey Lance for a 4th-round pick. And maybe he came in and played pretty well. Maybe we've liked him a little bit. So maybe that number comes down. That is what the leverage could be from the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, if they're thinking about this right now, that is not the primary concern for them. Oh, let's pay Dak less money once we have to pay him more than $200 million. That's not what it is. This is about making their team as strong as they possibly can. Does Trey Lance have better traits than Cooper Rush or Will Grier? There's no question about it. Is he going to have to spend a whole lot of time in Mike McCarthy's offense in order to even sniff the field for the Dallas Cowboys? Absolutely. This does not mean that Trey Lance, even if Dak Prescott, God forbid, goes down anytime soon, Trey Lance is not going to be seeing the field for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to have to learn that offense for some time, and it will be Cooper Rush's show as QB2 like it was last year. But this is with an eye on the future, because we've heard from many teams, they're in the business of being quarterback factories. That's the one thing you can't be without, and the Dallas Cowboys refuse to be without a quarterback.
Well, Dak Prescott, as you noted there, has missed 5 or more games in 2 of the last 3 seasons, so certainly a concern with his injury status. Now, a lot of the blame here, Jonathan, falls on San Francisco and their evaluation process. That's up for judgment, certainly, with giving 3 first-round picks up for Trey Lance. They only got 2 wins with Trey Lance. What's the feeling now out of San Francisco? Do you label this already as a bust?
Yes.
Well, certainly Trey Lance was a bust for San Francisco.
Yes.
He doesn't have to be a bust in his NFL career. right?
And that's what I was saying. He's technically a bust because of the 49ers. Y'all didn't need him. Y'all didn't give him any opportunity to really succeed. And the one shot he got, y'all put him in a position to get hurt. He comes back and he gets beat out by the last person drafted. And then y'all move him for Sam Darnold? Come on, bro.
But where he was drafted and the success or lack thereof that he had in San Francisco, there's no doubt about it. I know that people may cringe at that term, but that's the way it is. When you give up what they did, 3 first-round picks, of course, they sort of swapped one of those picks. And so one could argue it was 2 first-round picks and a pick swap in order to get Trey Lance. Yeah, that guy, when you make that trade in 2021, in the spring of 2021, you are anticipating that he's going to make some Pro Bowls, that he's going to be an MVP candidate, that he's going to get you into the Super Bowl. Obviously, that was not the case through a number of factors and circumstances, but they took a chance on Trey Lance. Remember, of course, he didn't play all that much in college. And then, of course, he didn't play that much in the pros. We all said, much like Anthony Richardson with the Indianapolis Colts, he needs reps, he needs experience. Well, the San Francisco 49ers, built as a team, a championship caliber team, didn't have the opportunity to say, you know what, we're going to go 4-13 this season, so let's go ahead and give the young guys some reps. No, that wasn't the case. I mean, when they went out there and drafted him that year, they were a Jaquiski Tartt dropped interception against the LA Rams away from potentially going to the Super Bowl.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, we know what this is. You know, like Trey Lance is probably like a reach for the Cowboys, but at the end of the day, the kid is like 24, 25, with 2 starts underneath his belt. They're going to keep him on the bench for about 2 years. Dak acts up. They got a backup plan. Dak, you act up, we got a backup plan. We'll pay you, but the moment you start asking for, for part ownership of the Dallas Cowboys, yo, out of here. We got Trey Lance. And they're going to spend the next couple of years building him up, putting him out into the playbook, getting him prepared to actually play. I'm not even sure if this kid could even play football because we haven't seen nothing. So it is what it is. I'm holding the 49ers accountable. I don't think this kid's a bust. I just think Kyle Shanahan's a meathead, but it is what it is. Hit the like and subscribe button for more content. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video, man. Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys. What a time to be alive. Mamba out.